Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Android 13 and how well he does in the Red Zone Zamasu event. Now Android 13 is a pretty good unit. His EZA was really top notch and he is much improved. Obviously he is dependent on a couple things to really make him shine. I think overall he's really good. Now there's kind of two phases to him. The first phase is his base form, which is quite good. I have two dupes in mind. You can see his starting defense is pretty good. And then his second form, whereby he's really good. Now one thing is his damage is kind of locked against facing a super unit, and more importantly also facing a Goku unit. But that isn't too bad. You can kind of work around it to a certain degree, as in it's not a necessity for him to be good, but his defense isn't really locked behind anything, which makes him pretty accessible. So let's talk about his base form. The base form does fine. It'll take a little bit of damage depending on link leveling and how many dupes you have, but in general it should be more than fine. He's pretty good at his base level, taking a bit of chip damage on the AoEs, but realistically after he gets off his super attacks, he should then have enough defense to really look quite good. And I think that's a super important part of his overall kit and makes him a really good choice, just in general for like a lot of content. So I think that's something that's really good for him, makes him a really solid choice overall, and I think preps him as well. Like the amount of super attacks you get do have a significant impact on his eventual performance in his fusion state, so it is something that is pretty important. If we take a look at Fusion Android 13, we kind of come to a similar deduction. Depending on how many super attacks you've got in his base form is going to dramatically affect how well he does when he's transformed. Again, there is a little bit of a requirement to unlock his attack, which means he needs to be facing a Super Saiyan or a Goku's category enemy. He doesn't really have that, so his attack stats aren't going to be huge. They're going to be decent, but they're not going to be huge. The next big thing realistically is whether his HP is 30% or more. I think this is obviously a significant component into determining just how well he does. For me, he looks really good. With his HP above 30%. When it's below, obviously he loses a little bit of that kind of, really good performance that he has. It's a bit weird that they threw the health requirement on him, but I think overall he should be okay. The other really big thing, realistically speaking, is actually that he does kind of suffer a little bit if you don't have a target Goku or Androids based team, because he will lose some of his attack and defense. So he is a bit closely tied to target Goku or Androids. Now target Goku or Androids as actual categories is not too bad. I think overall they do a pretty good function without being ostensibly weak. And I think they are pretty solid foundational categories for you to build a team from. He doesn't have to be on that. You can run him on Androids or movie bosses. So it doesn't really matter, but you do want to obviously prioritize having target Goku or Android's category units to obviously give him that full range of passive he kind of needs to realistically handle, the level of like damage that he's going to receive from Zamasu. So that is something that you do need to a certain degree, accept and plan for. But outside of that, I think overall he's pretty solid regardless. I do think target Goku's a decent category for the Zamasu challenge, but I think extreme teams in general struggle a little bit from link inconsistency and just kind of like overall performance. At least, that's from my side. That being said, this team did do pretty good. It did have a pretty good foundational level in performance, so I think overall there is a good foundation for him to really do a good job when it comes to like this event, so to say. But yeah, with that being said, honestly speaking, I think he's really good. I think he does a good job. I'm quite happy with how well he does. And I think overall, honestly, considering his easy A, considering he relies on raw defense, I actually think he does a significantly good job. You know, when you look at like look here at Super 17, he's got type advantage, he's got damage reduction, he's a very, very good unit, especially once you get him out, and he does a really good job here against Zamasu, and obviously he's a great unit to run Android 13 off of. You don't get big bad bosses, but you pretty much get everything else, so they make a very good pairing. Android 13 obviously doing a really good job here, some nice damage. You can see there 2 super attacks, both crits. And yeah, 154k is honestly not too bad. Remember, physical Zamasu hits like a truck. So for me, I think that's pretty good, being honest. But yeah, that's basically it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.